Alright, Drew, taking a good look at this motion, and you got a lot of good stuff going on, but there's definitely some room for some improvements. Setup alone is pretty good. I would like to see that upper body lifted just a little bit. Right now it's just sitting a little bit, so maybe if we can get the hips up a little bit taller, and I'll send you a video of myself just kind of showing you a before and after of this. But because a lot of this stems from, we're trying to get this club a little bit more from being right here. So where it is right now, club face is great, really good spot, but this is where it is, and we like to get it just up a little bit higher. Even if it ends up somewhere in this direction, that's fine too, because the reason for it is the issue that happens is the club gets lost. So if we just draw a little bit of a mark up the club head here, right, so it drops in even more, goes under, we lose it, so it's over in there somewhere. So essentially it's making this route to the golf ball, right? So really getting underneath it. The good news is you have really good hand timing, because you can see you're getting that golf club back into position here, but at this point, just before impact, I mean, we're talking a split second, that club face is wide open to your body, right? So your body's already completely unwound, and that face is still right here, pointing this way. Now, some people might look at that and say, oh, he's got lag and he's got all that stuff, but I see it as it's almost too much volatility. There's a chance that this club face could over-rotate quickly, could under-rotate quickly, just very timing reliant. Whereas if we can get that club face a little bit more out in front of you, a little more sequenced with your body, then you're going to be so much more in control of it, and you're not going to lose any distance because of it. So what we'd like to do is, instead of being here, because notice from right here to here, that's all hands really through impact, a little bit of hip, but specifically hands just trying to square that face up. And then the immediate motion left, right? So now the face is just trying to stay open through impact. So essentially you're hitting almost a bit of a push draw, right? You can see the hands really releasing around, the body's tilting back, a lot of motion through impact, almost trying to save it in a way. But you do a really good job. I mean, I could watch you hit balls all day with that motion, but if we're looking for how can we really improve it long term, it's just getting this club face up a little higher, so that way we're not so lost. Right here you can see very underneath it, and then we have to kind of push through to save it. So that's going to be kind of the first thing. And then the comparison that I brought up is just, you know, a decent tour player, big hitter in Jason Kokrak. So we look at his position at the top. Obviously he's got a big wide top position, but even here you can see where it sets, right? So big difference in setting here. A little more hip rotation and a pivot, if you will, as opposed to yours where you kind of just turn slightly. Arms are much higher up in the air, positioning that club a little more raised. What you can see as he drops the club in, it disappears a little bit behind him, right? So it's about here, but then it immediately works from here to here, whereas yours works more looped around this way. Right, so you can just see this position compared to maybe here to here, right? So you can actually you can kind of see it a little bit in the visual there for him, but he's just a little bit more on top of the golf ball, and he's slinging draws. I mean, he starts that thing right on line. Yours starts a little bit right. So I think if we can get that club slightly better position at the top, a little bit more raised, which will come from a little bit of improvement in the posture position. And then once we see some face-on videos and see how your body's motioning, I think we can make some changes there too. But that's where I would start, is just getting that club head a little bit higher. Feel like the transition, maybe the club's getting down a little more in front of you, a little more sequence with your body. And I think we'll start seeing that ball start a little more on your direct target line with a little less curvature.